Hi there, welcome to Stogie Palace. I'm your host, Chris. This time I have a Rocky Patel Prohibition. This is the broadleaf version, also called a Maduro, as opposed to the San Andreas version. Really nice chocolatey flavor, but a very tight draw, very tightly packed. Nice smell there. So let's get this thing lit up. Hopefully that draw loosens up because it's very, very tight. I don't recall that in the other Prohibition that I smoked, which was, like I said, the San Andreas, which was terrific. The innards of this and that, I'm pretty sure are the same. We'll look more into that after we get this thing lit. This is a 6.5 by 52 Toro, the only size the Prohibition comes in. Let's see, it's rated as medium in strength. That should be good enough. Well, it lit and drew better than I expected from that draw. And it's still some work. May have to use my Havana Saver right through here to loosen that up. And you feel it along here, very, very tight pack. Pretty significant weight to it too. Super tight. I mean, it's almost like a solid chunk of chocolate. I love the aroma. I like the flavor too. It's a little bit better draw, decent smoke output. So I got this for a little under $9 at a smoker-friendly Rocky Patel event 5 months ago. So it's been aging. There's some pepperiness there. Wrapper is Connecticut Broadleaf. The binder on Rocky Patel's website, it says Brazil. On another website, it didn't. Filler Nicaragua, made in Nicaragua. Let's see, what else can I tell you? RockyPatel.com. The broadleaf version of Prohibition is well balanced with a predominant sweet, spicy profile. I'm getting sweet and spicy there. As the cigar progresses, the sweet, spicy core is accompanied by undertones of coffee, leather, dark chocolate, and a slight hint of molasses. The finish is big and rich with a lingering, sweet, woody flavor. You may hear some sound effects from kind of having to pull hard on this thing to get that smoke that I'm getting. Well, I like the aroma, I like the flavor, I like the smoke output, the draw. Little too tough. Let's see. You can get a jar of 16 of these. That's how they come. They come in a jar. It's a really cool jar. It's like a mason jar, but it's got Rocky Patel's logo in the glass. Really cool looking. Jar of 16, famous smoke for $113.99. Cigars International is about the same price, within $1 or so. The San Andreas version, amongst most people that have smoked both, I've read online and all the reviews, is that people seem to like the Mexican version, which is San Andreas. I know I did. I loved it. I rated it a 96. This next part I did already read, but I'll read again. It was on the first video I did of the San Andreas, which was quite a ways back, and I think it's my most downloaded review. And Cigars International says, if you are a fan of Rocky Patel, it's likely that you already know he's one of the industry's biggest defenders, spending much of his time in Washington, D.C. fighting for the protection and rights of the premium cigar industry. So it's natural that he'd want to send a message to the FDA with one of his new cigar releases. and he does it perfectly with the new Rocky Patel Prohibition. The message is far from subtle. The federal government's ban on alcohol during Prohibition was a complete failure, and the FDA's attack on premium cigars will result in a similar outcome. That's the idea behind this cigar. Being in the jars with loose leaf tobacco, come in a big crate. It's pretty cool all around, and it's a good cigar. It's a great cigar. At least the San Andreas I've had. This one I think is going to be pretty close to that. I'm not as big of a fan of Connecticut Broadleaf as I am of Corojo or San Andreas. All right, well, it's a good start. I'm gonna have to work on that draw, and I probably will go ahead and use my Havana Saver. What the heck? If you haven't seen it yet, I'll go ahead and show it to you right now. This is part of the reason why this thing exists. This Havana Saver right here. One is to poke it in here, and then you can use it to bring it to your mouth to light or to smoke when you're getting down to the nub. Another is to scrape out ash when the cigar goes out. Get rid of the old charry stuff, purge through it, blow it out. There's a purge right there. Sometimes purging will help with a too tight of a draw too, at least I've heard. Huh. Maybe I'll hold off. Well, since I showed it to you, I gotta do it now. Alrighty. So you just poke it in there, and I'm not gonna go real deep. Just poke a few holes in there. Because my concern about poking these holes, and I'm not sure, it's just my imagination, but it would seem to me that when you poke those holes, the space you're opening up, that tobacco's got to go somewhere, and you might just be pushing it back and causing a problem of a plug later. Because it didn't seem to make a difference on the draw, but I didn't go very deep. All right, well, let's just keep on going this, and this is gonna take a while. It's not small. A little wavy there, but not a problem on the burn line. Smoke output is good, but the draw is tight. I did loosen it up. I used my Havana Saver again. This time I went a little deeper, and I'm glad I did, because what I found was when I went in, just those small little ones on camera, didn't do anything. I went further in, and at a certain point, right about probably the band line, it opened up on the inside, so I could tell there was a transition right around the band line and looser packed tobacco. As soon as I was doing that, smoke started coming out of the hole, and smoke started coming out the other side immediately. Draw opened up. Unfortunately, I have a feeling it's closing back up again. Those holes are getting squeezed, and I tried rolling it here between my finger. I just don't want to crack the wrapper, although the wrapper seems pretty robust. Huge vein right there. And you can't, I don't know if you can see it as well, but some of it looked like stitching, like Frankenstein. A lot of work right there to get that. But I will say the aroma and the flavor really remind me of the Royale, which is one of my favorite cigars, Rocky Patel or otherwise. Just a really good cigar. So I'll have to look into that. I'm pretty sure it's not the same wrapper. I don't know. The insides sometimes are a little vague on where the different tobaccos came from. Yes, Nicaragua, but a little more descriptive would help. Just a interesting little side note. Didn't expect that, the Royale kind of reminder, but it's a kind of a cocoa-ish, nice rich flavor, the kind I like. little rough on the retro there, but I got a flavor, different one. Let's see how the waft goes. Interesting. It reminds me quite a bit of the San Andreas, but different. Sometimes the San Andreas people I've seen about earthy, which to me means kind of tasting like dirt. I just had a San Andreas recently, the Luchador by Sam Lucia, It's a San Andreas. It didn't have that dirty kind of flavor at all. It's really one of the nicer San Andreases. Well, so far the knock is the draw. Once you take some hard puffs off it, you can get the smoke you want, and a lot of it. Nice aroma, nice flavor, no bitterness or harshness yet that I can tell. But I will note that in my previous review of the San Andreas version, towards the end there was some bitterness starting to creep in. So let's keep on going. Well, moving right along, about an hour and 25 minutes into this one, and it's fighting me the whole way. Into the second third, at this point here, getting a little bit of bitterness, flavors okay, not great. The aroma is still pretty good, but the draw is really way too much work for the amount of smoke I'm getting. It's too bad. It went out too for no reason at all. I was smoking it, it seemed to be doing okay, then poof, just out. Scraped it out, purged it, relit it. That's where I am now. That's much as burnt since, but it's not performing all that well. Way too much resistance on the draw, which is probably what made it go out. I even poked it a few more times with the Havana Saver. It's so dense. It's what it reminds me of is if I had this thing in my mouth and I was gumming it and getting it soaking wet with saliva, but I'm not doing that. I never do that to cigars. To get that right there was entirely too much work. But for you faithful watchers, I'll keep on going. Well, even though there's that much left, that's the end. I'm calling it. I'm gonna have to chalk this up to being a dud in the jar, because the San Andreas version of this was so much better, although it got a little not so great flavor at the end too, and that's what this one's doing. I don't really see how long I've been going at this, for 2 hours. It's not worth any more time. Sorry, but 96 for the San Andreas version, or it says Mexican on it. This one, flavor is really not really worth. I had to light it again just now, scrape it out and light it again, went out. Just too much effort. You have to pull on it so hard to the point you're almost getting a headache. So it's a hard one to score because it's kind of inconclusive. I'm gonna end up giving it, looking at my rating scale here, I can't think of anything else but an 89, because yeah, what can I say? But you know what, I'm gonna give you some bonus coverage, because just don't want to, even though I've been out here for 2 hours, it's not like I haven't been doing anything, playing a little music, little ukulele. Here's your bonus coverage. It's a Tatiana Mocha Eden, and the only reason why I'm lighting this one up and cutting it right now with a straight cut, only reason why I'm lighting up is because I have a feeling that this one got over humidified. Here's a little lesson for you guys. When you have flavored cigars like this one, and this is a chocolate flavored one, you don't want to put it in the same humidor as your regular premium cigars, or else they will start taking on this flavor. This one's been sitting in a separate Tupperware container with other flavored cigars for probably 4 or 5 months or more. I have no idea what's going to happen with it. So far, not a lot. It feels kind of squishy, as if it's been over humidified. And it's such a small ring gauge. It's not bad, I guess. I don't know if I ever even rated this one. It's the last one of its kind. Not too bad. Maybe we'll do a quick little rating of it. Putting off a good amount of smoke. Way better than I expected. It sort of reminds me of the machine-made types like, Hold on a second, let me tell you exactly what it reminds me of, because I have some others, some chocolate flavored cigars. It is, bear with me, sorry for the delay, because I have a list here of cigars and I keep separate. Dutch Masters Collection, chocolate. Yeah, you can tell that they've added chocolate to it, and this is not the natural tobacco where you're getting the flavors of the chocolate off tobacco. This is flavored, but it's performing way better than I expected. Putting out better smoke. Not bad. So, as far as this Rocky Patel, I think it's gone out again. That's purging it out. All that work for really nothing, and it's not really tasting all that good. So that one is getting dunked. So yeah, it's too bad. 89. Meanwhile, look at this smoke palm of the Mocha Eden. So Tatiana Mocha Eden. So little bonus coverage for you, since the other one just wasn't performing well, and I gave it plenty of time and patience, believe me. So thanks for watching. Chris at the Stogie Palace. I will see you later.